Hello, lovelies, and welcome to the launch party for Dust Shadow Insurgence, book number 6 in the Relic of Time series. Um, I am just so happy to actually get this one out. It's been a stressful year trying to get the books out for everything and with my migraines and stuff. And I had pulled the entire collection off of Bella, rewritten several parts of it, and added in a bunch of stuff that I had added back in, a bunch of stuff I had pulled when I had put it onto Bella, Kindle Bella, because of the word limits to the chapters and stuff. And I didn't want to have my prices too high for people to get. So I went and I pulled entire subplot lines out and got my cup of today. It is another cool day in Colorado. We are supposed to heat up into the upper 40s today. Fingers crossed, all the snow will go away. I would like to say hello to everyone who is here, and mostly to say my prayers for everybody who was under those horrible tornadoes yesterday. And I pray you don't get more today. The weather on the East Coast, eastern part of the country, is just very, very unstable. So all the prayers. I am glad that I could be here for you because our power has been out multiple times this morning. I do not know what is going on, but it has been out several times. These are the cover images for Dust Shadow Insurgence. Wow, really, Gemini? Kittens. So this is the paperback cover image. This is the ebook cover image. I used Leonardo for the face with the red eyes. I had an image that wasn't quite right that I had gotten from another artist, and I decided not to use it, and so then I just because I pay for Leonardo, I decided to go ahead and just work and try to get through to find exactly the right image that I wanted. And this one was probably the 30th attempt at putting in negative prompts, and I got it. As you can see, it's got the red eyes for the shadow indulged ones, and this kind of red fiery energy glow around it, which when you read the books, you find out people that are shadow indwelled, they change when their shadows look like this before it indwells their physical body. So that's what happens. And then you also find out in this book that the Dust Prince, the Prince Damien, has been revived by the Dark Shadows through the liquid essence of darkness, and now he's back. So yeah, these are the images. And we go through his revival process in this book, and it's not pleasant. The things he goes through to get back to being a living being. Yeah, no, that's not fun at all. So while I am going to if I can type in today, yeah. There's the link. I'm sneezing today. You'll have to forgive me. I have had the worst allergies going on right now. It has not been fun. It's so weird that I'm having allergies so late in the season. Come on. Did that work? Okay, it is working now. Hello, RC. Rock on to you. Yes, book number 6 is out, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share this with you and show you something. I've already got books 7 and 8. They're on their final edit passes right now. I'm working on the formatting, so I am planning on having all of those out and done. I mean, really, it's the advantage of finishing a series before publishing it means that you can get so much done. And let's see. Okay, so RC, since you're here, what do you want to hear? Do you want to hear about? I was going to read the first chapter, which is about the attack on the capital of Etheria, or do you want to hear about the resurrection process of the Dark Prince? Because, ick. Where is it? Okay, chapter 14. And if you're reading any of the books, this is close to the end of Cretaceous Conspiracy. Chapter 14, Dust and Dark Water. Almost a decade earlier, Dr. Daisy Kane struggled to her feet and stepped on the pressure plate to activate it. She was clutching her upper right arm as blood flowed down it from a gunshot wound. The blue glow of the portal swirled as wind sucked things into the void. Now, cars, she shouted. Battling, Karstein drove Damien into the portal, but Damien grabbed Daisy's injured arm, trying to drag her with him. If I'm going to lose this kingdom, I'm going to take the person most responsible for destroying it with me. I will torture her for the rest of her days, Damien's mind growled, but she didn't follow him through the portal. Damien could feel his brother Karstein holding on to his lover's arm, pulling her back toward safety. Let go, Damien heard her shout. Never, Karstein responded over the wind. Damien thought his brother was a fool to risk forever death for a human. If I die today, my brother and his beloved will die with me, Damien vowed. Damien felt himself slipping and knew he had one chance to kill them. He raised his sword in the void, preparing to summon lightning. He tried to tighten his grasp on Dr. Kane's tiny, blood-covered wrist, but it was yanked away. He slashed and too late realized Karstein had done the same. The double lightning strikes and the power of the portal exploding killed him. He felt his body being reduced to ash. But something whispered to him, Damien, Damien, come with us, and we will save you. Damien, come. Come, our prince, come to your kingdom. His shadow friends pulled his soul into the darkness and to safety, leaving his body in the debris of the portal. His shadow told him the truth, a truth about his enemy. Daisy Kane was, is, and will be the Oracle, your nemesis until either the darkness or the light is victorious. How can I defeat her? His shadow promised. We will make you a new body, our prince, one that cannot be destroyed so easily. Come. It led him into his new kingdom, a realm under a cinder of a star that was filled with dust ghost, glowing clouds, and the dark dust. There he was encouraged to let himself sink into a pool of dark liquid to rest. Several Terrorth years later, the pool of dark water shifted and stirred. The thick liquid appeared as black oil, but had a consistency closer to honey. The substance was neither oily nor sticky nor wet. It just was. It existed beyond the rules of normal matter because of what it was made of, and that was the most terrifying part. It was made up of the life essence of the devouring shadow, the dark entity imprisoned in the pocket dimension. The liquid was collected carefully over 100 centuries for one purpose: to return its chosen servants to life by linking them to living bodies. But none of the souls in the realm held the potential of Damien, so it endeavored to restore him with a physical form unlike any of its previous servants. A bulge appeared in the smooth surface, and slowly the dark water drained away, revealing a skull covered in muscle and sinew. The skull grimaced in gruesome display as unlidded eyes stared into the dark abyss beyond. Ashen shapes floated around strange glyphs. They looked like abstract eyes. The skinless being remembered something. The shapes were like those he had seen carved into stone temple walls in a kingdom of priests and slaves ruled by a powerful and beautiful queen long ago. He had hated her, but she served a purpose. As his memories returned, he did not realize how tainted they were. He remembered all the women he knew, but now hated. His mother, who suppressed his potential. A female warrior who bested him in battle. Another female warrior and a witch who trapped him. Twin servants who tried and failed to help him gain a kingdom. The beautiful golden-haired princess who chose his brother over him. A woman who took him in as her son and taught him to be weak with concern for others. A wife and daughter who lured him into the folly of love. A passive artist who caught his eye only to let herself be murdered. And lastly, the oracle. He burned with hatred for those lavender eyes like his mother's. He would have smirked if he had lips. She thought he was dead. As he stared at the floating shapes, he wondered how much time had passed and if the oracle still lived. The shadows shushed him, promising his revenge would come, and told him to sleep. The cadaveric being exhaled out of some long remembered but unnecessary habit. Black water oozed between two perfect rows of white teeth as it sank. The ebony liquid filled in the depression left by the abomination until only the dark mirror of the inky pool's surface remained. Hello, Carrie. Welcome to my launch stream. I'm hoping to go as long as I can. The power's been on and off today. A storm swirled in the pool of dark water. Black lightning surged through the oily liquid, creating strange black, red, and purple streaks of glowing iridescence. Within the pool, The flashes allowed the thrashing form to be seen below the smooth surface. The body was being forced to grow skin, a process. The process was slow and painful, as newly made nerves felt for the first time. The flashing faded and the pool rippled. A geyser spewed forth, lifting the now complete body. A man floated on the black surface, naked and hairless. He inhaled deeply. His red eyes glowed as he began to laugh malevolently. Finally, he lived again after years in the dark liquid. He stood on the polished surface of the pool, examining his new body in the light of the ancient, nearly dead star. Once he began to use his muscles, he would be stronger than he ever was. He held out his arms, and swirls of dark dust particles surrounded him, molding themselves to his will. As soon as he dressed, Soon he was dressed in black boots and pants, and a simple black shirt. He looked at his reflection and frowned. It would do for now, but he would have to acquire more suitable clothing for his station. In the darkness around him, the dust shifted and stirred. The shadows lingered and watched. The ghost of a long dead people who had been waiting for him for unknown thousands of years. First, she came forward. Then, one by one, the others came and bowed to their prince. Damien smiled because his kingdom had come. Damien tried not to glare as he looked around. His beautiful, spider-shaped research facility was demolished, and only the wind turbines remained. The entire area was surrounded with a tall chain-link fence. He bent to touch the ground, wondering how much time had passed because the grass had not fully grown back. "Hey, you! Stand up slowly and turn around." A voice called to him as a light was flashed on his back. Damien stood slowly but did not turn. "This is a restricted area. Turn around. Put your hands on your head." Damien could feel the soul of the one pointing the gun at him. The man took this job because it was easy and paid enough for him to buy his alcohol and keep his trashy apartment after paying his alimony. Damien had no use for someone like him. So he willed a throwing dagger to form in his hand from the dark dust of his sleeve. In a swift movement, he turned and threw. The man fell backwards, dropping the pistol and flashlight. Walking over, he picked up the light and flicked it off. Out of curiosity, he licked the blade he pulled from the man's head and grimaced at the alcohol-contaminated taste of the blood. Picking up the man's cell phone, he stared at the date, then pressed all of the man's finger on the button to find the one that unlocked it. He dialed a number only he knew. The person who picked up only breathed. "Hello, my pet." "My lord? Where are you?" Her voice was tremulous with emotion. "I am at the place where I left this world. Come and get me." "It will be done." She hung up. Damien waved his hand, and the dirt shifted, opening a hole. Then he hesitated. Cutting his palm, he let his black blood drip into the hole in the man's head. The dark liquid filled the hole, then the corpse jerked. Damien chanted for a moment in the most ancient language of the shadows, and it sat up. "Come, slave." Walking to the guard shack by the gate, the necromanced man followed Damien with a stumbling gait. The phone was ringing. Damien answered in the best imitation of the man's voice he could. "Hello?" "Theo, were you sleeping again?" the angry voice demanded. No, sir, there was a trespasser. Well, write it up. I was calling to tell you you would have to work at 36. Roscoe is sick. And don't refuse, or I'll call your ex and tell her how much you really make. The caller threatened, then hung up. Damien smirked. Theo, stay here and open the gate for my lady friend. Damien walked back out into the night. A Suzuki Hayabusa motorcycle parked at the gate. A woman dressed in all black with a balaclava over her head got off and walked slowly through the demolished compound. She moved cautiously in the fog coming off of the bay. My pet, Damien called out to her. She whipped around and fired her sidearms into the shadow that faded into the mist. She turned slowly, scanning on all sides as the air grew colder. Her breath created clouds in front of her as frost began to form on her clothes. Suddenly she turned, pressing the barrels into Damien's forehead. My lord? His ruby eyes glowed red for a moment. Hello, my jaguar. Trembling, she dropped to her knees with her head bowed. You live. I'm glad to see you have not let your skills wane in my absence, my pet, Damien complimented. Where are my other children? She swallowed loudly, then answered, They scattered or renounced you, my lord. And you? I have killed many and will kill many. Any you desire. She looked up at him in terrified awe. How is it you live? Your body. I took the ashes, but you never revived. He held out his hand to her and pulled her to her feet. I have a new body now, my most loyal. Come, it is time to gather my followers to me again. And I will stop reading there. So that is the excerpt from Dust Shadow Insurgence. It is the chapter about Damien's resurrection and return to Terror Earth. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you are safe wherever you are, that the inclement weather that is striking everywhere is not affecting you, and that, that you will be able to enjoy the lovely things that are going on. I know that there are just so many struggles at this time of year, so I pray that you will find someone to talk to if you feel depressed, that you will know that you are not alone and that we would all miss you. This year has been a struggle for everyone. And, we're going to get through 2023 and 2024 is going to start. And I have to have hope that 2024 is going to be better because, oh my word, just this year. So I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author and stroke survivor and coffee addict. Please follow and like my channel if you enjoyed this reading. I will see you next year. I'll see you at the end of this month for a wrap up. And then I will see you for Hold My Mocha 2024 because I'm going to need all the sweet chocolatey goodness to get through the pile of publishing that I have to do. Be blessed, and I hope that you have a very, very lovely day.